Canada is not doing much to help the homeless situation here in this country. In fact, it keeps getting worse, especially since the pandemic. We had a massive influx of homeless people due to the fact that a lot of people are losing jobs. Mental health crisis was on the rise, especially with the lockdowns. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and it really does affect the mental health of some individuals. But it's not just that, it's also the economy, the bad job market, and the fact that landlords are very greedy, and not just regular landlords, also corporate landlords as well, increasing prices year by year, no rent control to help anybody out. In fact, a lot of people become homeless because of the situation. Now, we have only a few videos to react to today, and also we're going to discuss some statistics here in Canada about homelessness. The first video is a gentleman named Eric who just became homeless in Sudbury.
Hey guys, it's Mark Swayze back here again. Sudbury, apology for the mess I'm going to be leaving behind, but under the circumstances, I got no choice. I'm heading to Toronto at 4 a.m. It'll be Friday, the 9th. I get into Toronto at like 2-something p.m. To get hopefully some legal help with all the issues I've had in Kirkland Lake, North Bay, and Sudbury. Especially with Sudbury, they're stealing all my stuff and that, completely illegal. They're interfering with medical help here for me, and they're just making my life really miserable. And they've made me homeless for the last 10 months. So I'm hopefully going to Toronto, which I'm going to be homeless there, but hopefully I'll get better help there, and hopefully be able to get things. Hopefully, I'll be looking for someone there to be doing the same thing of getting my word out so the public knows what's being done. And you guys know that I'm still putting up a fight, because no matter what, I ain't backing down. They owe me good, and something needs to be done, and I ain't the only one they're doing it to. So I hope other people are putting it out too, but hopefully I'll be back on some way or another. I'm going to keep in touch, so I can send him stuff that he can post in that, and he can get a hold of me to let me know what you guys are asking and want information that you guys want to know. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Anything and
I want to leave a mess like this?
No.
And a lot of homeless people end up going to places like Toronto because there's supposed to be more help for homeless people there, but it really doesn't look like that's the case at all. In fact, if you go to Toronto, you're mostly going to see like homeless tent cities under bridges and in parks, so not a lot of help as well in a place like Toronto. But a lot of people move there because they assume there's going to be more help. Also, you have more population there, so if you are someone who's going to do some panhandling or try to get some extra cash on the streets, you have more people that could potentially give you cash. So a lot of people leave places like Sudbury, even places like London, Ontario, maybe even, to go to a more densely populated area like Toronto to see if they can get any sort of help or maybe have a better shot there, right? The next individual is a younger person, so this is going to show that it's not just affecting old people, it's also affecting real young people.
So I basically moved to Quebec City. Technically. That's Quebec City. I'm just sticking to the outskirts for tonight. That way tomorrow I can just bus straight into Quebec. Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. Until then, peace.
Another individual leaving a rural area, less populated area, to go to a city. So this individual is from Quebec, so why not go to Quebec City, right? Again, maybe there's more resources to help the homeless people there, and maybe there's more population that could lend a hand. So some statistics as well in Canada that's pretty shocking to people who haven't really looked into the details here. But in 2025, Canada is facing an ongoing crisis with homelessness, with approximately 235,000 Canadians experiencing homelessness each year. This includes both sheltered and unsheltered populations, with unsheltered homelessness being a particularly urgent concern. The federal government, along with provincial and territorial partners, is working to address this issue through initiatives like Reaching Home and the Unsheltered Homelessness and Encampments Initiative. And you see a lot of homeless camps like being torn down by the police and stuff, so obviously they want the parks to be there for the public and not necessarily the homeless, but there's not a lot of places where they can go. And you know, some of these shelters are very violent and brutal, and there's a lot of trafficking that happens there as well. So people tend to not want to go to these shelters. So there isn't an immediate way to help a lot of these homeless people, unfortunately. And it looks like the population of homeless people are growing each year in Canada. I still can't believe that stat. 235,000 Canadians experiencing homelessness each year. And for a population of just under 40 million, that is a shockingly high amount of people. Jeez, it honestly might even be higher than that, right? You know, who's to say what actually qualifies as homeless? There's a lot of people also couch surf that might not even be included in the statistic as well. So absolutely brutal what's going on here. Leave your thoughts about this video subject down below in the comment section. And I hope you learned something today, and that is that Canada is not a great place to live if you are experiencing homelessness. In fact, it's very brutal and cold in the wintertime, and a lot of people will actually pass away during the winter as well if they can't find access to shelters, which is also another very sad situation here in the country. I hope you learned something again from this video, guys, and I would really appreciate a like on the video on the way out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.